excited to play in a top 10 matchup down in Jacksonville. We got a really good Florida team, and anytime you get to play in this kind of border war and neutral site game, it's a special event, and I know our kids are excited and looking forward to it, and great opportunity, and we're preparing to go, and got 2 more practices before we finalize some walkthrough stuff Friday and head to Jacksonville.
First up is Murray Poole, Vlog Illustrated.
Hey, Kirby, good morning. These freshmen going down to Jacksonville for the first time, Kirby, do you think they'll be a little wide-eyed in this setting, or you think, playing before the big crowds in Dooley Field and also, of course, the big stadium in Knoxville, they'll be pretty well prepared for what they see Saturday? And the follow-up on that question is, if you could give me the progress, how you think the development of Nolan Smith has been this season.
Well, those young kids, I look at them as veterans. I always tell people, everybody talks about how many starters the team has back. But by this time of year, everybody that started has already played in a lot of big football games. Certainly theirs have and ours have. So when you look at freshmen, they don't. I mean, big games are big games, and the more you play in them, the better experience you have, more confidence you gain. So I don't think these kids nowadays coming out of high school are intimidated by those kinds of environments. So I know they'll be ready to play. Nolan's development's been great. He's very intelligent. He's one of the kids that comes in and meets extra. You can tell it matters to him. He wants to play well. He studies his opponent. Very bright kid and extremely high motor, and he's continuing to get better every game.
Thank you.
Next is Robbie Andrew, the Gainesville Sun.
Hey, Coach. Kirby, what would you say is your team's identity at this stage of the season?
Resilient, tough, gritty. We've been in some really, really tough battles, especially fourth quarter battles with the Notre Dame game, the South Carolina game, and the Kentucky game. So all those games were really down to the wire, especially in the fourth quarter. And we've shown some resiliency. We've shown no quit, and the physical toughness and aggressive play that you want to have. I think our guys have shown that.
Thanks, Coach.
Next is Brooks Cabino, the Vatican.
Kirby, I'm covering LSU football and next week with their game. I know it's not compared to yours here, but just looking back at the 2011 game of the Century Deal, seeing you on the sideline, I was curious, what are your biggest memories from that game there, and whenever you look back at that?
It seems so long ago. Probably just the physicality of the game. It was probably one of the most physical games I ever got to witness. I mean, that and our Notre Dame game was very similar to that this year as far as number of collisions, contact. That was still during the LSU two-back run era, and there were a lot of ISO and leads, and we had some big linebackers in Alabama then, and there were some major collisions in there, and 2 really good defenses. I mean, it was like a dinosaur game nowadays, 6-6 or 9-6, whatever it was. I mean, that just never happens anymore. So.
Yeah, I'm sure in a coach's career, there's so many games that are part of your career. But what does a game like that do for your experience, and how does it kind of help you as you in even 10 years down the line?
Well, I think experiences like that, they give you value. They give you things to draw from. More what happened during the game, overtime. Probably the biggest, most valuable thing from that game was that it didn't define the season, and that the kids bounced back and played hard and got another opportunity because of what they did after that game. But it was a very memorable game, that's for sure, because it was physical.
Thank you.
Next is Steve Moulton of WDVN.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Steve.
Development-wise, along the offensive line, tell me what you saw, especially out of the bye week, and certainly the challenge that Florida front seven is going to pose on Saturday, Coach.
Well, number one, it seemed like it was the first time that, everybody was healthy at the same time. We're very fortunate to have some good work done during the bye week and have everybody available to us across the offensive line. I mean, outside of Schaefer, who's been injured. But all those guys were back and able to get a little more continuity and able to develop some of the younger kids and get them some more reps during that week. So I was pleased with that, and I'm excited. They're excited for the opportunity to play against what is an elite front. Quickness, speed, physicality, pass rush, high motor guys, a lot of twitch guys. So, they're going to have to rise to the occasion because they're going to go against what's one of the most productive fronts in the country.
And just from that bye week on the self-scout, Coach, of just reevaluating both offensively and defensively, where do you think this identity of this team stands right now heading into the last half of the year, Coach?
I think anytime you talk about identity, it's you create that by how you play and what you put on tape. It comes with the physicality. It comes with the brand of football that, our backs and our offensive line are probably the strength of our team, and finding ways to create identity for them. Defensively, it all starts up front. You got to be able to control the run game. And when you can control the run game, it allows you to do other things with the rest of your defense. And then special teams will continue to work on the fundamentals to get an opportunity to hopefully make some game-changing plays, because that's an area that we certainly got to improve in is special teams.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, thank you for your time.